So let's say that you've heard about this thing called reputation management and you know it's important. You see commercials on TV telling you it's important. Maybe you have some reviews. Maybe you have some bad reviews that it's like you feel like, oh, I have to pay attention to this. This is a thing. I need to do reputation management for my business. By the way, that was the air quotes. That was not some spasm. So you're thinking, well, where should I actually put the focus? Because, you could, I guess, sign up for every review site that's out there, but which ones are right for you? And what are some of the pros and cons and the differences between each of them? Because as a business owner, your considerations of where you should put that focus is different from just saying, okay, I'm gonna do all of them. People can post anything, anywhere. I'm gonna do reputation management across every site. Some sites are worth investing in, and other sites it's not worth it. So for this video, I put together a quick list of the top 9 sites that, depending on the type of business you are, you should consider paying attention to and collecting reviews on, because reviews are a powerful form of social proof. The fact that someone goes out of their way to actually write something on one of these sites can be a deciding factor, or at least a considerable of consideration factor in people deciding to buy your products and services or not. Not all of them will be applicable, but for the people who I know watch this, who have businesses, who are, coaches, consultants, agencies, SaaS companies, info product businesses, these review sites are going to be the most relevant to you, and some of them, just won't be a fit, but that's okay. So let's just jump right into it. So the first one is most specific, I would say, to SaaS businesses. Okay. Where it's software as a service, you have a reoccurring revenue business model, productized service businesses that might be supported by software. What I sort of call SaaS, or service as software, because the work is done by humans, but there's a software interface, through which, there's ordering or project management involved, kind of similar to what AutoGrow, what our platform offers. I would call us a SaaS. SERS. But anyway, Capterra specifically is a review website that helps consumers, primarily other businesses, business owners, marketers, to find the right software for them. So that's what it really specializes in and focuses on. So if you are a SaaS business, if you're a SaaS, if you're a productized service business with some sort of software component, you might want to check out Capterra for that. Now, Amazon, this is really only going to apply to those of you who have, I think info products, yeah, because you can publish your ebooks and portions or all of your course material and sell it on Amazon. You can sell a physical product. This is going to apply to you as well. And gathering reviews on Amazon, again, it's a great form of social proof. It can be an excellent feedback mechanism as well, because people who buy on Amazon, they also can review on Amazon, and that's one thing that differentiates it from some of the other options here, where for some of the other options here, you have to actually sign up for the site. You have to fill out a form from scratch, basically. So there can be a little more friction versus, okay, they bought it on Amazon. They're already signed into Amazon. It's low friction for actually going ahead and collecting reviews right there. And there's one other review option here that I'm looking at, and I just thought of, I didn't actually include, but I'm going to cover it at the end. So I'll make a mental note of that. Tripadvisor, if you're more consumer oriented, if you're more travel oriented, this would apply to you. Probably not for a lot of people watching this, but we'll see how the audience trends. So maybe this is applicable to you, but it's an option to keep in mind. And another reason why these choices in particular too is because you're going to outrank other choices. Okay, and that's part of one reason why you're not just going to pick some random website and say, okay, I'm going to stake my reputation on this website. No, you want to, in terms of, reviews and review management, whatever, collecting the social proof and managing it, replying, whatever, asking your customers and clients to, hey, can you go review me on XYZ site? You want to focus on those that are going to be ranking highest in Google, okay? Because consumers, your clients, when they go to check you out, they're not going to check every single site. They're going to check the ones primarily that are towards the top of the list. And those are also considered to be some of the more well-branded and trustworthy. Yelp, if you are a restaurant, if you're a local business, this is most applicable to you. I do see some businesses out there that put up a Yelp profile that are, primarily web-based, an agency or something like this, if you have a physical presence, but it's not so essential. It's really more important to be on Yelp. They do rank very well in Google, but it's really more important to be on Yelp if you are a local business with a local presence and you're going after local consumers or clients, okay? Better Business Bureau, they're okay. They rank decently well just because they've been around forever on Google. So they're gonna show up usually towards the bottom of the first page in terms of reviews. They're really not known for their reviews. If you have a problem customer or client and they're just going to try to slime you online, they might go to BBB and include it in their scorched earth policy or whatever. But other than that, it's okay. I mean, the seal, I think, is what is the biggest appeal of this one. So if you invest in having, your profile or whatever set up on BBB, you have to read their terms of service, but I think it's probably okay to advertise, like, let's say you have a perfect, 4.5 and higher reputation on BBB or 5 stars, whatever. You can display that with the rating on your site. I think that's okay because you're just reporting the news. You're not saying that they endorse you or anything. If you are an accredited BBB business, which you have to pay for, then you get some sort of a special seal to go along with it. So the BBB rating, and being able to use that logo, assuming that it's not against their terms of service, is a nice form of social proof, because although people aren't really that familiar with what BBB actually is as an organization, they may have some brand recognition there, and it sounds like it's almost a government thing. BBB.org, so it's in the name as well, in the web address. So then we have Clutch, which is a bit newer, I think, than some of the other options that have been around that I've already gone through. So Clutch, just to be transparent with you guys, I'm the least familiar with it, but I came across it the other day. I mean, you can see here, their focus areas are, typically service-based businesses that relate to, services that can be provided online. For example, the company that specializes in pay-per-click advertising, PPC advertising, Client Boost, I was looking at their profile on here. So I think, specifically this is one that we might actually invest in the near future. So if you have some sort of professional services businesses, especially if you're B2B, this might be an option worth considering. And same thing for Google Business. Now, there's one thing coming up, so a reason to stay tuned to the end. There's one thing coming up that I'm going to tell you about that differentiates a lot of these options from the final option that I'm going to show you, other than some of the other nuanced facts that I'm giving you here. I'll reveal that in a second. So Google, you can set up your own business profile, you can collect reviews. There's always going to be, depending on how popular or successful you are, there's always going to be, unfortunately, the occasional crazy. The downside to this option is that, similar to another option, Facebook coming up, as I'll show you, or as I'll talk about, a lot of people have Google accounts, they have Gmail accounts, so they're already signed in. So the level of friction there is not so high. In terms of someone just leaving a review that might not be so thoughtful or complete or positive. But I think that it's good, and I think it's one that we might invest in for AutoGrow in the near future. Because we are a virtual company in part, we don't have an office, everyone works virtually. So I have to kind of figure out okay, if we have to put an address, what's the address going to be? But yeah, it's a good form of social proof, and it ranks high in Google. Go figure. All right. G2 is also really great for a lot of B2B type of businesses. In particular, services companies, a lot of software providers, SaaS companies are on here as well, productized service companies. It's not so much for like the random consumer product. Like these are more B2B services, software tool oriented. Okay. The good thing about G2 is they rank high. They give you some personalization capabilities over your profile. The way that they calculate the average is fair, where it's just a straight average in terms of reputation, in terms of reviews, and that's different from this next one, Trustpilot. So Trustpilot uses this unique weighted scoring system. It's smart on their part, but it's also a bit manipulative, to be honest. And I think it can be a bit unfair to businesses, especially if you are newer on Trustpilot and you don't have a lot of reviews. So the way that it works is you can actually go to their website and read up on the scoring method. It's called something specific, but it's not just a straight average. Okay. It's based on recency. How recent is the review? So newer reviews count heavier. So they're weighted. And second, in terms of, like, let's say that you have 10 reviews and then you get one review that's like a 1 star and the other 10 are 5 stars. Well, that one review could bring you down like a whole half a star or a whole star. And then you'll have to get, because it's not taking a straight average. It's really, they're really weighted. So you might have to get like an additional 5 to 10 additional 5-star reviews just to get back to where you were before. And even then, where you were at, like they'll start you off at a 4-star reputation by default, which again, smart on their part, but not necessarily fair to use the business. It's smart on their part because it forces you to, it's like, oh man, like people are gonna think we're 4 stars, so you have to invest, you have to drive people to it. Now they advertise this on their site, but I would, if you can avoid, I would actually, here's the one good thing about investing in Trustpilot and why I would not recommend them, but I also wouldn't not recommend them. They are on top of it for the most part in terms of any fake reviews, any reviews where it's not a genuine experience. So if a stranger comes to your profile here and they're like, oh, like they're terrible people, or if it's like, someone who, wasn't a customer, was an employee or something like this, or if they don't provide documentation, whatever, they will actually delete the review. That's kind of unique to them versus all these other websites, you report a review or whatever that is from someone's like, I don't know who this person is, and they left a negative review. I don't know what to do. The other sites will generally kind of just write it off and never get back to you, but Trustpilot actually does. So that's one thing that's, I would say, is really kind of in their favor in terms of you considering them. They have a really nice design, and they also rank quite high in Google. So I want to show you a couple of examples just in case, if you're ever concerned about how much do reviews actually impact the ability for my company to be successful. You're not Facebook, they're kind of a unique business. So this is not saying that this has no impact, but I don't know. A lot of people hate Facebook and they don't care about, reputation management that much. I mean, they put some commercials on TV or whatever, calling for regulation or something. But and then there's Airbnb. Again, they're a pretty successful business and apparently not caring too much about their reputation. Marcus Aurelius said that, and I said this in a previous video where I talked about online reviews. And Marcus Aurelius, to paraphrase him, he said, you can't, in terms of what is in your control and what isn't, reputation is not in your control. But in terms of, online, there's definitely room to influence it, and you definitely want to consider the different options that are out there thoughtfully, and in terms of, where you're going to put your focus, because you don't have time to do all of them. You don't have time to, as you grow and succeed, you're not going to reply to every single, random thing that appears out there. This doesn't make sense. Focus on succeeding and getting better reviews. Now, Facebook reviews for the final one. I don't have a tab open here. Facebook reviews, should you invest in it? Should you not? I say no. It's an option to consider, but I say no because it's good in the sense that it's a straight average, unlike Trustpilot and all these other sites, which are a straight average. Facebook is also a straight average, and they don't weight the reviews, I think, in terms of recency. I think it's just a straight average across the board. They might actually rate it a little bit in terms of recency. I could be wrong about that. But because so many people have a Facebook account, there's very little friction involved in terms of someone actually having to thoughtfully make a review. Because part of the deterrent for some of these other websites, unlike Trustpilot, which is kind of unique in that they tend to police fake reviews, Facebook, you can try reporting it or whatever, but it's going to stay up there. So So I don't recommend Facebook in general for that reason. But some of these other options, probably pretty good. I would say top three or four would probably be G2, Google My Business, and Trustpilot. That'd be my recommendation. I think Clutch would probably be in there as well. But what do you think? Which ones are most applicable to your marketing goals and your business? And what's been your experience with some of the review sites that you are already on? Leave a comment, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're looking for other options, just like a more complete list, you can check out this list perhaps on Vendasta. It looks a little bit outdated, to be honest. I mean, does anyone really still use Foursquare? Or Manta? I remember Manta from like 12, 15 years ago, something like this. Yellow Pages, are people going there? I don't really see them in search results like ever. So I wouldn't recommend them. And then, there's a longer review list here from HubSpot, which gets into some more niche and consumer facing options. All right. So leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of this video and give me ideas for what we can make videos for in the future. It's getting dark here, so I'm going to wrap up. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our email list. And if you're interested in learning more about AutoGrow, go to autogrow.co. We have a 7-day free trial. And the value proposition that we have to offer you is, if you are an ambitious business owner, if you're looking to grow, if you're looking to scale, okay, and you don't want to deal with the headaches of hiring, but you have all these great ideas for marketing your business, but maybe your team is stacked up, maybe you're too busy to do them yourself. You just wish you could have a team with a complete skill set: copywriting, design, development, strategy, ads management, video editing and motion graphics, voiceover, and more. Well, AutoGrow provides that to you without the headaches of hiring. You can get quality marketing work done for you fast. And we call it a platform because with AutoGrow, which again includes a 7-day free trial, with AutoGrow, you simply log in, you get an assigned project manager, like a real human being, and who cares about your success. And then you say in the live chat, you get a live chat, which is also great. You can send voice notes, you can send video recordings of what you're looking to accomplish. And you say, oh, okay, I want a logo, I want a website. I'm an agency, so I want this landing page created, set up, designed, optimized for mobile, launched. I want to put up ads to drive traffic into it too. I want to build a complete funnel. I want custom graphics. I want to create a video from scratch with a voiceover. I want a webinar script, and on and on. The only limit is really your imagination. Okay, it's a flat fee, no contracts, upgrade, downgrade, or cancel at any time, and you get a 14-day satisfaction guarantee from the day that you sign up. So you sign up, you get 7 days for free, no charge. And then after the 7th day, you are charged. Okay, then you get 7 additional days just for your peace of mind as part of that 14-day satisfaction guarantee. Okay, so check it out. It's autogrow.co, and it's an amazing value. We built it to solve our own problems since we started off as an agency. And check it out, autogrow.co. So until next time, keep auto growing and stay focused. I will see you in the next video. Bye.